Here we're going to look at ratios, proportions, and rates. So first we're going to look at distance equals rate times time. Okay, so in this case, they'll always give you two of them. Like they'll give you distance and rate, but not time or one of the others. So this question, it says 280 miles. 280 miles in 4 hours. And then it says how long to drive 630 miles. Okay, so how do we do this? All right, so they're giving us this distance here, which is 630. They're asking, they said how long to drive 630 miles, right? So we don't know time, right? That's a big question. And like, what is the rate? Okay, so they've given us enough information to find the rate. And this is always assuming like the same speed throughout, unless they explicitly state that. That's what they're saying. So I went 280 miles in 4 hours, right? 280 divided by 4 equals a rate of 70 miles per hour. 70 times 4 is 280. Okay, so given that, put that one right in here, 70t, right? Okay, and now we have enough to solve. We'll go ahead and get that little math out of the way. We can solve this thing. Okay. Okay, so we divided each side by 70, and time equals 9 hours, right? And if you didn't know, so like when I have a 0 here and a 0 here, I can cross those out, right? And then it's just 63 divided by 7, which equals 9. Anyway, that's our answer there, 9 hours. So you will see some distance equals rate times time type questions, also just called distance questions, right? Gotta be able to do stuff like that. Like that would be a pretty hard one on the test. Okay, like so proportions, right? So in this question, we have in a classroom, or in any room really, 10 males, 15 females. Okay, and then what is the proportion of males to females? Okay, so we're looking at this and they're going to want you to reduce it, right? So we got 10 males, 15 females. And so if I divide each of these by 5, right? So we have 10 over 15. Divide top and bottom by 5. We get 2 out of 3, right? So males to females would be 2 to 3, something like that. Okay. Now, what if it said, and this is where you got to make sure you read the questions carefully. It's a big deal in test taking and probably math even more so in particular. So what if it's 10 males, 15 females, and what if it said what's the ratio of males to everybody? So it's not still going to be that 2 to 3, right? If it's 10 males to everybody, right, including that includes males, 10 plus 15 is 25. That would be a ratio of 10 to 25, and again, they will want you to reduce, almost for sure. So 10 over 25, how can I reduce that, right? I gotta be able to divide something by the top and also by the bottom, numerator and denominator. 5 looks like the good number. And that equals 2/5. So the ratio of males to everybody is 2 to 5. That's how you do that. So when you're trying to reduce these, if it's not obvious to you what you should divide the top and the bottom by, start with 2 and work your way up, right? So when I looked at 10 divided by 2, okay, that works evenly, right? 10 divided by 2 is 5, but 25, no, doesn't work. 3 doesn't work for either of them. 4 doesn't work for either of them. 5, 10 divided by 5 is 2. 25 divided by 5 is 5. And so that's how I decided that was the number to go with. Okay. So those are proportions, and you'll definitely see some proportion questions. Okay, so here's another males and females in a class question. 2 times as many males as females. Okay, I got twice as many males and females in a room or in a class. 60 people total. How many males and how many females are in this class? Okay, so perhaps you can eyeball this and get it right, but most people can't. And so what we're looking at is males are going to be represented by 2x, because there's twice as many as females, right? Females are going to be represented by just x. And that's 60 our total. Okay, and then we just add this up. All right, so now we have 3x equals 60, divide, x is 20. Okay, and then remember how we set this up. We said the females were x and 2x was males, right? So 2x equals 40, right? Because 2 times 20 is 40. So that's males, females, right? And then check to make sure what we did adds up and makes sense, right? 20 plus 40 is 60, so that looks good. 40 is twice as much as 20, that also looks good. And then we have the right answer. Okay, so just to make sure we got this concept here, this is important. These are fairly tough examples, right? But horribly drawn 3, right? So what if it was 3 times as many males as females? We'd know what to do then. Same thing, right? So now it would be 3x plus x equals 60, right? Because 3 males are represented by 3 times. Females still are just the x. 4x equals 60, divided by 4 on each side, x equals 15. Okay, and again, x, that would be females, right? And so if we're trying to find males, males are going to be 3x. 3 times 15, 45. And see if that works out. 45 plus 15 is 60. That's our total up here. 15 times 3 is 45. So we got 3 times as many males as females. Everything works out. We're ready to go.